How many depressed people are misusing their time? Okay, so get them to, for a week, write down very briefly their use of time. Wrong perspectives. You put down page 279. And it's a homework assignment. Page 279, relationship of thoughts to feelings. Okay? What goes on there in that assignment is it has about 40 or 50 passages that show how what I think in Scripture leads to what I feel. Right? What does Isaiah say? If your mind is on the Lord, what will He'll keep you in what? Perfect peace. Romans 8:6, the mind set on the Spirit is life and peace. Right? Go again and again, and all through Scripture, the reality is if my mind is set, I will experience the fruit of emotion. Now, you can have mixed emotion, okay? You can have something going on physically or that tempts you to feel despairing, but you can have something going on mentally that gives you peace and joy. And so which is going to win out? Where your mind goes, right? I remember having migraines and laying there, and I haven't had bad migraines as many people, but I remember having migraines and laying there and saying, Lord, right now as this thing is cutting through my brain like a knife, I can just sort of stop and say it's not affecting my meditation. I can think on you while this is really hurting. Isn't that weird to be saying that to yourself? But that's, so why are you despairing? This is going to pass. Getting your mind on the right things. One day I'm going to be in heaven. One day there's going to be no pain. He's using this for good, those kind of thoughts. Wrong perspectives. The fruit of emotional despair comes out of wrong perspectives. Page 279, that assignment's good. And then the diagramming the historical development of the Depression. Some people think the Depression came out of nowhere, and indeed we don't know always how it did come. But most of the time, we can see a spiraling, that there's a spiraling down, like this gentleman who lost his IQ, his memory, and the perplexity started, right? What do? I lost my ability to think and to work. What do I do? That leads to that perplexing question. God is cutting you like a knife. He's exposing you, saying, I'm going to see what's at the root of your hope here, where your confidence lies. Is it in your ability to make wealth? In your ability to pass tests like a smart person? You know what I mean? What's your confidence in? Do you think like the Apostle Paul in Philippians chapter 1, verse 18? He said, whether by life or death, my earnest hope and confidence is that Christ will be exalted in me. Whether I have an 80 IQ, whether I have no energy or half my energy, may Christ be exalted in me. Right? Whether by smart or stupid, right? Whether by strong or weak. See, the goal is Christ, and that will always happen. You never have to worry about that hope being taken from you. Christ can always be exalted in you. Always. Even if you're a 5-year-old again one day. I think about my wife, what she's going to do when that happens to me. You pray for her. Will you put her on the list right now? So this gentleman chose to worry. That was an SR, a sinful response. Instead of drawing near to God and trusting in Him and obeying the Lord. So a new problem arose out of that. He had panic attacks, right? Because worry fuels panic, right? And insomnia began. So what does that leave you? More hopeless, right? So now we have not only a sinful response, but an NP, a new problem. So we have this SRNP, and you don't have to be so detailed like, I got to get an A+ on this. No, it's just you got to get enough out there for them to see that it does progress. It has spiraled down. You don't just wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to quit everything. That has progressed somehow. Little thoughts, little actions, or lack thereof, neglecting leads here. So you see these other problems down the list. You can read those. I chose to stop doing what I could for my family and began hours of TV to get my mind off it. New problem, my family got angry at me, so I became bitter. Sinful response, I pull away, eat poorly, not exercise, stay in bed half the day. Now my health worsens, thoughts become more confused, hopeless, sinful response, and on and on. I remember a high school gal who lost her father after her father was in jail. Actually, it wasn't her real father. She lost her real father, and then her stepdad became very close to her, like a very strong companion in her life of strength, sort of the wind beneath your wings stuff. Be careful of that song, by the way. It's not a bad song, but if you're my wind between my wings, or between my, underneath my, see, I can't even say the song. The reality is, if you're that, what if I lose you? Setting yourself up, aren't you? How about you're the wind from God, and if I lose you, He'll still give me wind. Not another wife necessarily, but He'll still be my confidence and my stronghold and my refuge. He's always been there. I have an intimate relationship with Him I cultivate daily. Therefore, He's the closest companion I have. My wife gets to enjoy that with me, right? That's the way it should be working, right? Anyway, this gal lost her stepdad to prison for a drug issue. It just devastated her. And then he got his life right, and then he died. She stopped doing schoolwork. She spiraled down. New problems arose out of not doing the right things. And I remember there just, first of all, trying to empathize, trying to get in. You know, how do you start there? Anyway, the Lord allowed me to say something that made her say, this guy's kind of funny and weird too, I guess, and she started listening to me. And then eventually I was able to say to her, you know, Joseph, and I went with Joseph, had tough things happen to him, lost his dad. And look what he said here, and she studied Genesis 50:20, you meant it for evil, God meant it for good, to save many people alive. I said, you know, you could really be used in great ways through this. God could use you like Joseph. Do you know what happened to Joseph? We talked through that. Went to Romans 8:28. You know, everything works together for good if we love Him. Is not doing your schoolwork loving Him? No, it's not. Do you want good to happen? Do you want God not just to leave a period here where your dad has died? Do you want Him to put to be continued in a good way? What do you want? So I ignited her faith with that thought. The Lord did through those words. So she went home and her mom said, she started doing her schoolwork. What did you say to her? I said, well, we're going to find out why she's doing it. I said, let me ask you, why are you doing all this? She said, things are going better, you know. Why are you doing this now? I thought she's, you know, there's reasons she could be doing it that aren't biblical, and so they're going to go away. Like, I want to have you replace him.